This is Debbie Walsh, director of the Center for American Women and Politics at Rutgers University. We were talking about, let's disclose, previously we were both Eagleton Fellows.
Right, in the graduate program at the Eagleton Institute of Politics.
Yes, I barely got in and barely got out. So let's do this, Debbie. Let's talk about women in politics. Women make up what percent of the population in New Jersey?
About 51% in New Jersey and nationally.
And in the state legislature in New Jersey, of the 120 members of that august body, there are how many women?
About 31% of the legislature is female.
31?
31%.
Because?
Oh, so many reasons, Steve. New Jersey has been a tough place for women to break in. I will tell you that at 31%, we're doing better than we have in a very long time. We rank 19th in the nation. We used to be, just a year ago, 13th in the nation, but when the elections happened in 2018 and we saw so many women getting elected across the country, even though New Jersey's numbers stayed the same, we dropped in our rank. But we are doing better. It used to be 15 years ago, we were in the bottom 10 with Alabama and Mississippi. And a lot of work has been done to try to increase the number of women in office in New Jersey, but there remain a lot of hurdles. And I think in large part, the greatest one is the party structure.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Is it fair to say that most of the party leaders, the party structure, the party power brokers, those who you don't read about, well, put it this way, you don't see them on this show a lot, but they're the folks who make a lot of decisions about who gets to run. They're just middle-aged and older white men.
Older white men. And if you look around the state on both sides of the aisle, I think it's only about 9 women who are currently county party chairs.
Right.
The rest of them are all men. And those folks make a lot of decisions about who gets to run and, frankly, who doesn't get to run.
Not always looking for women. Not
always looking for women, and it's not necessarily a transparent process in New Jersey. A lot of the times these decisions are made behind closed doors, and women are not in the room. We run a nonpartisan campaign training program called Ready to Run in New Jersey. We get close to 200 women every year who sign up, and they are ready to run, and they may think that they're in line, but sometimes the line moves, and they don't know quite how to get there.
Is the quote-unquote old boys network as alive and well, and not so well for a lot of reasons, as it was 15, 20 years ago?
I think it's better. Things have improved, but there is still... I think that what's improved is I think some of the men out there who run the show have realized that it's a good thing for them to run women. It's smart politics to run women. But I think the men are still largely the folks making those decisions. Women aren't in the inside, in those back rooms when a lot of these decisions are made in most of the counties.
Me Too made a difference? The Me Too movement made any difference? Has it made, in your view, any difference in men who were involved in these decisions being aware enough, smart enough, practical enough, do the right thing, and put women out there?
We'd like to think so. We'd like to think that this is having an impact here in New Jersey. I think it definitely has had an impact nationally.
It has.
I think we saw it in 2018 with record numbers of women running for office, state legislatures, Congress, and record numbers of women winning. Largely, almost exclusively on the Democratic side. Republican women still have a long way to go. But here in New Jersey, I think it's been slower. We did manage to go from 1 woman member of Congress from New Jersey to 2.
By the way, Mikey Sherrill, excuse me for interrupting, sat right there. Congresswoman Sherrill, check out that interview you did with her. And when she talked about how many women came in this class.
Yeah.
In this class in Congress. She said it's very refreshing.
36 women. It's the largest freshman class that we've seen of women. Again, almost exclusively on the Democratic side. Of all of those newly elected women, one newly elected Republican woman last time.
What's up with the Republicans?
It's a complicated situation. So the Republican Party in general does not put the kind of resources into women's candidacies that the Democratic side does. Not just with the party itself, but outside organizations. There is nothing comparable to an Emily's List, PAC for Democratic pro-choice women, on the Republican side.
Emily's List, it's a great way to raise money for women running for office.
Fantastic way to raise money. But also on the Republican side, there is a real reluctance to identify with the concept of identity politics.
Huh?
Well, their idea is, on the Republican side, is that the best candidate will rise to the top, whoever that is, and you don't necessarily need women or people of color to represent the interests of women and people of color.
Well, how about representing the population?
Yep, they'll say that the best candidates will come to the fore, and that's how to do it. Paul Ryan said when he was Speaker that the reason there is the kind of partisan divide and gridlock in Washington, D.C. was because of identity politics. The Democratic Party embraces identity politics, and that helps when it comes to recruiting women candidates.
Let me ask you, someone listening, excuse me, right now saying, oh, Debbie Walsh from Rutgers, from the American Women, the Center for American Women in Politics at Rutgers. She's speaking, and she's clearly favoring the Democrats and is being critical of the Republicans. You say facts are facts?
I say facts are facts, but I also say if we're ever going to get to political parity in this country for women, both parties have to do the work, and we need the Republican Party to do more. We need more Republican women in office. We need more women on both sides of the aisle. We're still less than a quarter women in Congress, but the Democrats are doing much better. The Republicans need to do better, and the Democratic women in Congress tell us they want to see more Republican women in office, and the Republican women in Congress tell us the same thing.
2 seconds left. Is there a women's caucus? Is it real?
There is a bipartisan caucus in Washington for women's issues that is not nearly as strong as it used to be. It is much harder these days for that kind of work across the aisle to exist.
This is Debbie Walsh she's the director of the Center for American Women in Politics at Rutgers University, my alma mater. They try to ignore that, but they can't. Thank you.
We claim you.
Yeah, once in a while. Thank you. This is State of Affairs. I'm Steve Adubato. Let's continue the conversation. Follow me on Twitter at Steve Adubato. See you next time. Thank you very much.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 30 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of State of Affairs with Steve Adubato has been provided by TD Bank, New Jersey Sharing Network, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, Johnson & Johnson, and by Choose New Jersey. Promotional support provided by NJ Advance Media and by ROINJ,